Hi there, beautiful souls. Welcome back or welcome to The Hawk and I. My name is Lana Zelinsky and I work in the spirit dimensions. As always, in all my videos, simply take what resonates and you're welcome to leave the rest right here. I have returned from St. John's, Newfoundland, Canada, after a wonderful time, a couple days away, doing some live events and some one-on-one sessions. And a little bit of downtime, just some time by the ocean, some time to breathe, and some time to do some channeling. Hi there, Wesley. It's good to see you coming in. Good to see you. I have spent quite a bit of time with my spirit guides doing quite a bit of channeling for October and the energy that we're coming into. I know we are a couple days into October here, but just due to my trip and some recovery time that I needed to take when I got back, I am a couple days late getting the energy update out here for October. So while I was sitting down by the ocean, doing some meditation, just kind of chatting with my spirit guides about what I need to share with all of you and what I need to be also in alignment with coming into the next several weeks with some really interesting things. The first thing that came up, I'm just going to take a look at my list here. So if you see me looking down, I'm just reading what I channeled because I don't always remember it all when I'm talking on these live chats. It's good to see all of you coming in. Welcome, welcome. What Spirit said about October. The one thing that came up instantly were sheets of emotions. October is going to be a month where sheets of emotions for a lot of us are going to come forward, asking us to process how we feel and to allow these emotions to be acknowledged. A lot of energy and a lot of emotions that we go through, sometimes we don't spend enough time processing them. And October is going to be a time where we're going to be asked to kind of take a look at those emotions. And for many of us, it's going to feel like it's coming in sheets, lots of them, and in waves of emotions. And sometimes you may not even know why you're feeling a certain way or why these things are coming back up. And one of the things that Spirit shouted very loudly in my ear to share with all of you is, here in the physical world, where all of us are on a journey, and quite often in our journey, we're in a constant space of healing and allowing. What we go through and what affects us, sometimes does come back, and there's no need to be hard on yourself if you're reprocessing an event or reprocessing something that happened in the past. There's a reason why these things come up. Now, interestingly enough, as we come into the fall months, we are in fall. So as we come into fall, it's very symbolic when you think about how the leaves change and the leaves fall, and there's a big letting go in the fall. Energetically, we really, really connect to nature. We come here and connect to our planet, and it's no coincidence that we go through similar things that the seasons are going through as well. So as the trees are letting go and as the trees are releasing their leaves and going through their own transformation, we often are affected by that and go through that as well. The other thing that came up with Spirit was the balance of transformation and rest. We can become so busy in our everyday lives and in our spiritual growth and development that we don't give ourselves time to process our transformations. And as I sat with that, I was literally sitting on a high cliff overlooking the Atlantic Ocean when I was receiving these downloads from Spirit. And that one kind of struck me like a guitar string. Pling! I literally felt that chord within me. It really resonated with me, that one. To we need to find that balance of allowing ourselves to rest in between our transformation and our personal growth. Now, transformation and personal growth, that also connects to our physical world, that connects to our growth, our changes in relationships, our growth in our workplace, our growth in our personal lives with our families or our friends and our children. We're always looking for opportunities to grow and learn and to better ourselves. And that's a great vibration to be in. I myself, I've talked about this at length on my YouTube channel. I don't believe in ceilings. There was no limitations to my growth, and I'm always working on my growth. But there needs to be a balance of rest sometimes. And I think that for me, energetically, sitting up there overlooking the ocean, I felt that. I truly did feel that. I don't give myself time to rest in between experiences and learning and growing. And the word permission came into my awareness, to give ourselves permission to take those breaths, to take some time to just kind of allow ourselves to be and to process the learning and to process a lot of our transformations, to give ourselves that space and time. The other thing that came up for me was, and it comes up quite a bit when I sit with spirit, is the whole self-care piece. I know I sound like a broken record sometimes when I repeat what spirit says about self-care. We are here to look after ourselves as well as others. We do have, have people in our lives that we love, and we do have responsibilities, but we do need to come home to ourselves and be taking those self-care moments as well. Energetically, the collective for me, when I sat with spirit, so the collective being, the energy as a whole, as the planet as a whole, collectively there was this vibration of tired, and just needing to come and do a little something for ourselves, a little bit more, and that is quite often comes up with spirit, because spirit wants for us to be well as well. Our spirit guides want us to be well. The angels want us to be well, and our ancestors in the spirit dimensions also want us to be well and kind of looking after ourselves, both physically, energetically, and emotionally. The other thing that popped into my awareness in spirit is has been changing how they're working with me in a kind of a really unique way. I'm getting a lot of almost like little miniature movies that spirit will play when they're trying to communicate something with me when it comes to what spirit says, which is really kind of interesting. And one thing that spirit talked to me about while I was sitting up there on that cliff was the past versions of ourselves and the past lessons that keeps coming up, as well as something that spirit wants me to share with you all, is the whole releasing of what no longer serves us from lessons that have learned, and the past can be a big one for many of us to let go, especially if we've had, things in our life that perhaps weren't pleasant, or perhaps that we struggle with letting go of. That whole piece is going to be loud for many of us October and into November, with the whole taking a look at that version of yourself and allowing that self-forgiveness piece, and that self-allowing piece and that letting go piece. That volume is going to be turned up. And I know sometimes it can make us squirm in our seats. Sometimes we really don't want to go there, but it's going to serve your highest good energetically to be able to say, yeah, lesson learned, or that I was doing the best that I could with that version of myself. That's going to be turned up as well in the month of October, which ties into the whole piece, I think, of the sheets of emotions. Some of those emotions are going to be tied to past events, and energetically it's a big time to let go. It's a big time to just to surrender. It's a big time to allow yourself that peace, that peaceful feeling of I was doing the best that I could with where I stood at that time. I love that. I was doing the best that I could with where I stood at that time. And I think that many of us, myself included, often do struggle with that, don't we? Like we don't You're a different version of today as to who you were yet even yesterday. There's a different version. You're a little bit older. You've learned even the tiniest wee lesson. We're a different version. So be kind to yourself when it comes to these emotions. Be kind to yourself when it comes to letting go, and be kind to yourself when it comes to when these things come up. When these things come up, we've got to tackle that vibration with love and light. And the one thing that's really important, and just think for yourself for just a moment, if a personal friend or a family member or even a stranger comes to you for some advice, how do you respond? Most of us respond from that kind, gentle space, right? When we want to help somebody get through something or move past something, we come with that gentleness. That approach also needs to transfer into how you're responding to yourself. The energy coming into later in October, I felt like this wind blowing in with a lot of opportunity. There's a lot of opportunity coming in late October, and the energy there felt very much as that whole piece of what do I choose? And Spirit yelled that loud and clear into my ear as well. What do you choose? Transform, change, and rest. And there's that. I kind of got really excited for everyone collectively, because there's going to be that coming through our paths as well. That is the energetic update that I received for the next couple of weeks in October. I hope that it resonates with you. Some of you here. Take what resonates and leave the rest. I am going to scroll through and answer a couple questions before I have to go on with my day. I just need to get my glasses here. All right. So, and how about a little sip of tea? A sip of tea is always good. Okay, let's take a look at your questions. Welcome, everyone. Does our ancestral tree here in the physical world have any relation to our soul contracts in the spirit world? Hope this makes sense. Ooh, that is a very, very good question, and I am happy to answer it here on the What Spirit Said. So our ancestral tree in the physical world have any relationship to our soul contracts? So yes and no. So with the whole choice and free will, we do have that in how we choose to work through certain events that may have been handed down or may have been taught to us from ancestors above. The people that in the physical world that you have a connection with, so family, friends, siblings, we have soul contracts with these people. Now, some soul contracts are literally minutes long, and some soul contracts are lifetime long. Our ancestors who came before us, so let's just say, hypothetically speaking, great grandparents, or somebody who may have passed several hundred years ago. It's really interesting when I do readings, is quite often I will channel them even though you didn't know them here in the physical world. They are part of the soul family. You may not have a soul contract with them. So there is a bit of a difference, but because they connect to your soul family, they may come through as a guide to help navigate through difficult times, or they may come through like with some advice to help you, even though you may not have a soul contract with them. The other part of that is that there is the whole piece of the soul contracts and the lessons that they've learned. Sometimes they have soul contracts with people who still may be living, and you may be connected to them just through relationship and life events. I do hope that that answer made sense. It is a very interesting and broad topic to talk about. And there are also a few things that are truly, truly unknown when it comes to exactly what's in our soul contract. But with most of our relationships, there are agreements that we've made in the spirit dimensions before we came here in the physical world. I'll help you, you help me. I'll teach you this, you teach me that. So soul contract is a real interesting topic. Casey, the rest resonates for me. perfect. I'm really glad that resonates with you. I pray you do well throughout the month, Camilla. Okay, so Camilla, you have a question. This is very interesting. I have a lot of EMDR treatments for PTSD set up this month. I will keep this message with me this month. Camilla, if you're okay with it, I'd be happy to just send you some love and light to just kind of help ground you through these times. I also think I just want you to know that I really feel so much courage and strength energetically with you. I also, Camilla, see a lot of light in the path in front of you. I feel that there's a lot of healing, a lot of momentum. I feel like there's a lot of personal growth. And I also feel quite strongly that you really want this. You really want the healing. You really want, to get a deeper understanding and move forward. I am sending you so much love and light. And if you would like me to continue sending that to you, Camilla, just make a comment here and I'd be happy to just put your name in my healing circle. I do a healing circle every morning with just people's names to send them love and light and energy to help them go through their journey with as much light and love surrounding them as possible. And as long as you're open to receive that, that's a beautiful thing. Okay, Camilla, thank you very much for permission. I will put your name into my healing circle. I am happy to take a few questions here as well before I sign off. Heather, going to take my driving test. Please send love and light and luck my way. Heather, I feel this going quite well. I don't feel you need luck. I feel that you're ready, and I feel that there's a big new beginning here. Lana, that was an intense video of the Lover's Leap. I enjoyed. Thank you very much, PJ. There's some upcoming videos that I filmed before I went away to St. John's that I do hope that you will like. There is a wide variety with what I do. Being the voice of spirit, PJ, I just want to tap into that comment, if that's okay for a moment. Being the voice of spirit, there's a lot of physical worlds, how does spirit say, stories, or things that get lost in the translation. And I really love going to places and kind of clearing up the air or getting spirit's side. With Lover's Leap, I had a couple of comments on that video about how we often perceive that things have been healed once spirits cross into the spirit dimensions. Not all spirits cross and do their healing work. And most do. Most of us cross over into the spirit dimensions to do our healing work. But quite often, if there is a lot of troubled energy with that soul, quite often it's not healed as quick as we may think it may be. And also remember, there is no time in the spirit dimension. So, 40, 50 years in the physical world doesn't necessarily exist in the spirit dimensions. So their healing and their processes, the timelines don't exist as we understand time here in the physical world. Time is man-made. It is created. It belongs here. It doesn't exist over in the spirit dimensions. So yes, that was a very interesting video. I was actually quite surprised, and there are some more surprising videos coming up. I was quite surprised myself with what spirit had to say, but I do appreciate you, PJ, for taking the time to watch that video. Let's see where else we go. Are you able to tell me why I feel so drained? So that would be Castle. Castle, I'm just leaning in there to you energetically. I also feel that your sleep, even though you may feel like you're sleeping, I don't feel like you're sleeping all night. Castle, I also feel that energetically you're taking on stuff that's not yours. I need you to kind of get yourself a little bit more grounded. Perhaps just standing with your back against a tree. I need to tap you into some spiritual practices, maybe perhaps just a little bit of meditation, a little bit of bubbling. I'm also feeling very thirsty. I just feel like I'm not getting enough water when I feel into you energetically. And I also just feel that there's just a lot of busyness that I need to just give you a pause from. I'm in my head a lot. So I don't know if you have a lot of overthinking going on. Castle, 100%. Okay, I'm glad that that resonated with you. But I do feel that I need to just kind of get you, I'll use the word disconnected from this, from the physical world. This kind of goes out to anybody who resonates with this as well. Our physical world over the last couple of years has been really chaotic energetically. Many of us are empaths, and we feel that energy coming out of the planet here from collectively. So empaths will feel like collective energy, everybody's stress, everybody's anxiety. Like it's been very loud here in the physical world. We are, not all, but most of us, many of us, are not taking those pauses to give our spiritual self some TLC. We're not spending enough time with just giving ourselves a chance to breathe. Simple things like looking at the clouds for like 60 seconds can bring us back into our alignment. We are meant to be in balance, and when we come out of balance, this is what kind of happens. We don't feel well because we're not looking after that spiritual side of us. Our soul needs us to pay a little bit of attention there. We are spiritual beings having a physical world experience. So that part of us, when we don't take a little bit of self-care, we feel that, and our body speaks to us, and our soul speaks to us quite often with the feelings of exhaustion or just feeling numb. That brain fog is another symptom of spiritual imbalance when we don't keep that connected. I personally, if I don't do my spiritual practices every day, I'm way out of balance because I'm it's my heightened awareness, and we all have that heightened awareness within us. Okay, so I'm going to take a couple more questions, and then I do have to get into sessions. I have some sessions today that I have to get ready for. Okay, so again, here, I really would like to know why I have such severe brain fog. It's really bad, and it takes such a major level of concentration to do normal things, affecting my job. I'm losing my job because of it. I always, if you're, this goes to anybody who has asked me a similar question, always get yourself checked out medically. Always talk to your family doctor or, a clinic doctor, however your healthcare system works your way, always. Okay. So, but again, I would have to ask you, are you looking after yourself energetically? Because we can only, and here's what happens is, let's just say, I'll use myself an example. Let's just say for 30 plus years, I'm running in a vibration of stress, work related, family life, and, the punches that we kind of go through in our lifetime. So let's say I spend 30 years doing that. Energetically, my inner being, my soul, my spiritual self, whatever word you want to use there, says, hey, I'm tired. I need to recharge. My spiritual gas tank is low. I wish I could invent an X-ray or a diagnostic test to show people that their soul, that their energy, that their higher self is important, just like an organ, like your heart or your kidneys or your brain. But because it's not, we tend not to look there for answers. So when we have this brain fog and we have this tiredness, and we rule out medical stuff with our doctor, come home to your spiritual self and just say, can I be taking better care of myself energetically or spiritually? What is it that I resonate to that's going to give me a chance to clear that brain fog and to breathe? And when you think about it, depending on how old you are, when you take your age and you kind of sit in the energy of how long life has been life without it giving you a break energetically, or without taking that TLC time for yourself, how long has it been for you? Maybe a while. Right? It may be a while. So energetically, we get tired, and energetically, we take a look at that. And I think we're getting better and better in the physical world, with the medical world and the holistic world working together to navigate through how energy affects our physical well-being. It's connected. If we, and when you think about it just for a moment, if we come here as a spiritual being having a physical world experience, that part of us needs us to take good care of ourselves. Okay. I do hope that you all enjoyed spending the last almost 25 minutes with me. My schedule is back to normal, so I will be back on here doing the lives. There are some events posted on my website if anybody is interested. I do have some new Zoom things coming up as well. And there is still, it's only on my website for the Spirit Circle that's coming up in October. I did one on October 1st with a group. It's a discounted rate specifically for the YouTube channel. It's not on any other social media other than my website. If you're interested in a spirit circle with some channeling and some messages, the first group, October 1st, we had a glorious time. It was absolutely wonderful. I am wishing you, as always, love, light, blessings, and a spirit guided day. Much love.